Every single day, people around the world type more than 8.5 billion queries into Google. It's almost as if every human being on the planet logs on to search for something at least once a day. When a company dominates a market completely, its name actually replaces the action. We ask for a Band-Aid instead of a bandage. We tell people to Xerox a document. And today, searching for anything on the internet is simply called Googling. Yet this massive cultural force started in 1998 as a college project. Larry Page and Sergey Brin built a simple search engine with a mission to organize the world's information and make it accessible to everyone. From that single web page, they expanded into the digital tools we rely on daily. They acquired YouTube in 2006, mapped out our cities with Google Maps, and also built Gmail to manage our communication. But here is the economic tension at play. Despite building these world-class, globally necessary tools, Google charges us nothing to use them. And yet, this company boasts a market cap of over $2 trillion. Google does not operate as a charity. Maintaining a $2 trillion valuation while charging the user zero requires a specific, highly lucrative economic engine that operates almost entirely out of sight. At first glance, you might assume they rely on the freemium model. This is the strategy where a company gives you the basic service for free, but asks you to pay for premium upgrades, like jumping past the 15 gigabyte storage limit on Gmail or paying to remove ads on YouTube. But looking closer at the data ruins that theory. Roughly 95% of the people watching YouTube or storing files on Google Drive completely ignore the premium options. They never pay a dime. That tiny fraction of paying subscribers cannot possibly support Google's massive operational overhead. Every year, they spend around $40 billion on research and development alone, funding thousands of projects, many of which end up in a corporate graveyard of over 200 failed experiments. They spent years and massive capital developing Google Plus to fight Facebook, building Nexus tablets to rival the iPad, and pushing the failed Google Glass. All of them were eventually shut down. When 95% of the user base pays nothing and hardware experiments routinely fail, the company relies on a different asset to generate its wealth: the specific data harvested from the billions of people using its services. The true commodity is data profiling. Every question you ask the search engine, every email you send, and every video you click logs your age, your location, and your specific interests into a database. Of Google's $280 billion revenue in 2022, $237 billion came strictly from search, network, and YouTube ads. Advertisers use demographic filters, targeting 18 to 25-year-old women in specific regions. When a matching user searches sunglasses, a bidding war instantly connects the highest bidder to that screen. This system differs from rivals like Amazon, who generated nearly $47 billion in ads by targeting you based on your concrete purchase history. Google builds its profile based on your search intent and curiosity. When you strip away the sleek interface, Google's actual business is running a sophisticated digital billboard network, matching human curiosity with corporate marketing budgets. Relying entirely on an ecosystem fueled by personal data carries massive structural risks. Shifting public sentiment regarding digital privacy threatens the data collection pipeline Google relies on. In 2023, California fined Google $93 million because the company tracked user locations even after users explicitly turned their location history off. The math here is unforgiving. As users lock down their privacy, Google collects less data. This leads to inaccurate ad targeting, and if targeting fails, advertisers take their massive budgets elsewhere. But the ultimate threat comes from outside the company. AI chatbots like ChatGPT now allow users to receive a direct, formatted answer to a question, bypassing the need to scroll through pages of sponsored links. If users realize they can get answers directly from AI and stop visiting ad-cluttered search pages, the $237 billion matchmaking engine that powers the company is at risk of collapse. Google is now racing to deploy its own AI, Gemini, to keep pace with this shift. The coming years will reveal if they can migrate their advertising engine to a new landscape where users no longer need to click a single link to find an answer.